Welcome to a virtual demonstration of the THOR UVC system. I'm Tristan Williams, the Technical Director for Finson Technologies. In the course of this demonstration, I'll be showing you how the THOR UVC system works, why it's important, and how it works. Currently, we stand in the midst of an unprecedented global pandemic caused by the COVID-19 outbreak, but infection has been a long-standing problem. Healthcare-associated infections are the most frequent adverse event in healthcare delivery worldwide. Of every 100 hospitalized patients at any given time, 7 in developed and 10 in developing countries will acquire at least one healthcare-associated infection. Hundreds of millions of people are infected, and 30% of patients in every intensive care unit are affected by at least one healthcare-associated infection. However, there is a widely recognized and widely available solution, and that is UVC. What is UVC? Well, UVC, quite simply, is light at a specific wavelength, in this case 253.7 nanometers. At that wavelength, the photons within the light beam have the right amount of energy to penetrate the cell wall and attack the DNA or RNA of any viruses or organisms. As the light penetrates into the DNA or RNA helix, it denatures the T-bonds, causing metabolic disruption, and the two sides of the DNA or RNA helix essentially fall apart, at which point the virus or organism is no longer able to cause infection or the spread of infection. UVC has several key features and benefits over existing technologies. First of all, it's incredibly safe. There's no need to seal the room, and there's no dangerous gases introduced. The system you see in front of you, the THOR UVC system, is also the best available on the market to date due to its several features, which we'll discuss in a moment. Due to those features, it's very fast, and it's very simple to use. The great news about UVC is that there are no consumables involved, so it provides fantastic value for continuous room disinfection. UVC is also not destructive to building fabric, and this system enables the reduced possibility of human error, high pathogen kill rates, no sealed room, and reduced facility downtime. The THOR UVC system from Finson Technologies has several unique key features. It has an integrated 360-degree LiDAR room scanning facility, 4 integrated PIR room sensors for entry detection, an integrated ultrasonic height sensor. This allows it to adapt to any room size or height. We also use 24 of the highest output UVC tubes available from our partner, Philips. This ensures this system generates more UVC than any other system currently available. We have specialist reflector panels that ensure that the light is distributed and diffused effectively around the room. We have a 6-wheeled base for maximum stability and to ensure that it can clear objects and thresholds such as on elevators and doors, and as well as clearing cables as well. But the biggest metric, the key one that we're incredibly proud of, is that we designed the system to be within the footprint of the international standard of a wheelchair. And the reason for that is we wanted people to have a clear idea as to where they can deploy and where they can utilize the THOR UVC system. And the simple answer is, anywhere that you can get a wheelchair, you can use THOR UVC. All of these features ensure that the THOR UVC system is the most adaptable and most powerful UVC system available on the market today. So how do you actually physically use the THOR UVC system? Well, it has a very simple plug-and-play operation and philosophy. All your users have to do is to simply push the lightweight THOR UVC system into the center of the room, and once it's in position, simply connect it to mains power, and it will automatically switch between 115 operation and 220 operation. It's a dual source product. Once the system's connected, you simply have to leave the room and you operate the system via the integrated wireless control tablet. The THOR system will then operate via our integrated THOR UVC control app and will perform all the calculations necessary to ensure you achieve a terminal disinfection dose in your treatment area. Due to the active safety systems that THOR UVC uses, at this point you no longer have to directly supervise the system. Here we can see the system being used in a real-time demonstration, from both the tablet perspective, but also the THOR UVC system itself. So I'll open the proprietary THOR UVC app and simply enter your username and password, and up to 12 individual IDs can be allocated to the system to enable full traceability of use and for statistical analysis as required. The tablet is very simple to use. It's Windows-based operation. It's a Windows-based tablet for ease of use and user familiarity. Once you've logged in, the system will then begin to run through its self-checks. It will check that the tower use is allowed. It will check that the tower has been recognized. The tower itself will then perform its own self-checks and ensure mains power is connected, that the scanner is initialized and calibrated, and also checking that this system is allowed to be accessed. Once that stage is complete, we come to the information screen. Anything entered on this screen will be integrated into the system report that's dispatched to each user after each and every cycle. Once that information is entered, there's 3 standard disclaimers that have to be done, key safety checks, that the room to be treated is vacant, that you are allowed to perform the operation, and that you have read and digested the user manual. Now the system will begin to run, and you'll see that the LiDAR on the dome will now open and scan the room, the first scan, known as the lower scan. Then the system will raise, and it will raise to its full height or to within 30 centimeters of any obstruction. Once the system's at full height, it will then perform a second scan. The reason for the scans is that UVC treatment is all about dosage, and dosage is key. And to calculate accurate dosage, you need to understand several key things. Firstly, UVC dose is cumulative dosage, it's intensity over time. And secondly, you need to understand that it's about turning variables into constants. So by knowing the amount of UVC power we output, and then scanning the room, we turn 2 variables into constants. The other thing that the THOR UVC system does uniquely is that it does a third scan, whereby it actually scans all the furniture in the room and integrates that into the algorithm. And that's the last variable we use. As you can see on the screen, the treatment area is being selected, and that is a logarithmic adjustment of the time based on the area that you wish to disinfect. And on the scan screen, you'll see now in front of you that the scan can be zoomed in, it can be rotated, and you can also adjust the disinfection area depending on your requirements. The reason for the allowance of adjustment is to allow for you to either treat a very small area or a very large area depending on your needs or requirements at that time. Once all your adjustments are done and your treatment area is defined, then it's simply a case of pressing the continue screen and the system will enter into its countdown mode. Once at the countdown stage, you no longer have to supervise the system thanks to its active safety systems, but can go off and perform other tasks as required. Once the countdowns reach 0, the tower will begin to lower. You'll see that the lights remain on to ensure dosage, to continue the dosage delivery. The tower will lower and it will begin to its shutdown process. You'll notice that all of the lamps switch off pair by pair by pair to ensure that we have a soft finish and soft start and minimize any kind of disruption to the electrical supply. And once complete, press done and the system will upload a cycle report immediately to your inbox in the PDF format, which will include all of the features of the cycle. Once the cycle is complete and the THOR UVC has issued the command that it's safe to enter the room, simply enter the room immediately. There's no residual chemicals, no residual toxins, it's perfectly safe as soon as the lamps are off. Disconnect the THOR UVC system from mains power, and then it can simply be extracted from the room as required, and moved on to your next treatment area in the next room, the next corridor, the next coffee room, the next SSD, whichever room you wish to treat with UVC technology. The adaptability of the system allows you to treat any area that you deem is necessary. As we are all fully aware of the requirements of disinfection, one of the key criteria is that real-time reporting data is provided after each cycle. And THOR UVC has an integrated secure data connection to our proprietary server, the FinCEN Cloud. Via that integrated data connection, reports are dispatched immediately after each and every cycle. And these individual cycle reports comprise of full room schematics and all key metrics of the individual disinfection. Coupled to that is ongoing access to the FinCEN Cloud database, which comprises a full log of every treatment that's ever been performed with your systems. Should you require any further information, or you'd like to have a real-time, real-life virtual demonstration, please don't hesitate to get in touch with either ourselves directly or via your local distributor. Thank you very much for your time.